Writers, as I've been reviewing your homework these last few lessons, I'm wondering if you might be most interested in exploring more focused subtopics of the larger argument. I was going to suggest that you send these pieces out to people in the world, but I'm seeing that you might be more interested in a more nuanced subtopic, such as injuries in competitive sports. I want to tell you that doing this, being interested in some different subtopics, is exactly what writers do. They start inquiring into and researching one thing, and that inquiry work usually leads them to new questions and more focused inquiry in response to those questions. We are going to move to that more focused research tomorrow, but right now it's important to take stock of the work that you have done so far so that you can consider what is strong about the work and how you might improve it. This reflection will not only help you make this piece stronger, but will also help you to make all of your future argument writing stronger. Today, I want to teach you that self assessment and taking stock of one's work is about looking backward and forward. Writers self assess by looking back at their current work to ask how it is strong and how it might be improved. And they look forward by asking, how can I bring all that I have learned to future writing? So let me show you what I mean. For this next part, you're going to want to have a copy of the argument writing checklist in your hands, one that you can write on and make notes on that you'll call your own. So go ahead and pause this teaching video and make sure that you have a copy of the checklist before we move forward. Now you're going to read over each of the components on the argument writing checklist and determine if you've already mastered that component, if you've just started to, or not yet. And I want to remind you to be hard on yourselves, make yourself accountable. And before you check something off, make sure that you have evidence of doing that work consistently in your writing. The really important work will be to determine and set goals for yourself. So I want you to pause the video and do this work for a bit. Remember that you'll want to have your writing with you so that you can have evidence to show that you are or that you have mastered each of these categories, and then determine which ones you'll want to set goals for. All right, writers, at this point, you should have at least 2 goals for yourself. These goals will help guide your future work. But before we move on to studying writing about more focused subtopics, it's important that you make changes to your current argument writing so that it can be the best that it can be. So you'll have the rest of today's lesson to really consider how you might work on your goals and then revise and draft a writing piece to raise the level. The goals that you set and then the revisions that you make to create a new draft will both be part of your assignment for today. So you'll want to have that done before continuing on with the next lesson. Okay, writers, off you go.